2024 Hyundai Kona is brand new for this model year, and I gotta tell you, Hyundai's done some amazing changes to this vehicle, and I think it could be the best subcompact SUV on the market right now. So today, thanks to Gettle Hyundai of Lakewood, Florida, I'm gonna take in a complete tour of this vehicle, and we're gonna check it out of what's changed, what's better, what's improved, and at the end of this video, I'm gonna take you for a ride together with me. So if you like watching videos like this, don't forget to check out the rest of my channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, give me a like, and hit that bell notification bell to make sure you don't miss any of the content that's coming out. Now, if you're ready to go, let's go. Well, so you might be asking, what's changed? And I gotta tell you everything, including the key fob right here. This is the new Hyundai key fob, right? You see, totally brand new design. You have the lock, unlock, hold for remote start, hold for panic button right here. You have the hold to open up the rear gate, as well as the parking features. We've seen that before on the vehicles. I will show you that maybe later on in this video, but completely new body lines. Now you can see the hood has been extended. Overall, this vehicle is about 4 inches longer, 2 inches longer as far as the wheelbase, and about 1 inch wider than the previous generation one. Now we have the Hyundai logo right on the hood versus it used to be right in front here, and also this brand new LED light that goes through the entire width of the vehicle. Now the lights went down here. You see the turn signals used to be on top. Now the turn signals are right here at the bottom, alongside with those double beam lights, the high beams, low beams, and this is a pretty cool grille, right? Well, let's see what happens when I start this vehicle. I'm going to use this remote start feature actually right here. Press and hold and see what happens. Look at this grill opened up. So this is an active grill that allows more air to get inside of this engine compartment to help with cooling. Pretty cool feature. We've seen that on some of the higher end models like BMW and such. And you have this front view camera right here. Overall, I think this is a pretty cool design as far as the front end, and that incorporates some of this matte black finish, some of this polished aluminum looking trim and such. And now let's take a look what powers up this thing. We're gonna pop this hood open. Let's see what's there. Here's the latch. Wow. First thing that surprised me are the hood struts. Now, there used to be a prop stick before in the previous generation one. Now we have the hood strut sound insulation. That's a huge plus in my book. And we have two engine choices. This is the more powerful one. We have a 1.6 liter 4-cylinder turbocharged GDI engine producing about 190 horsepower, 195 foot-pounds of torque, made it to an 8-speed automatic transmission, so no CVTs here. This, I think, is going to be the right balance between power, performance, and gas mileage as well, which we're going to talk about in just a little bit. As we continue this tour around the corner right here, you can see that the lines have changed on this vehicle completely. Now it's more Tucson-like, if you will, especially if you're looking at some of the creases. Some people like it, some people not so much. I think overall it looks pretty good. Now, like I mentioned before, 2 inches is the increase as far as the wheel base, so it should have more cargo space, more passenger space, as well as a little bit softer and more comfortable ride. Which, let's take a look at the wheel and tire setup. What we have here is this pretty cool aluminum wheels, dual color. Those are 19-inch wheels. We have the Kumo all-season tires. 235/45 is the size of them, and you have a lot of black cladding like this, almost like satin black cladding that go around this entire vehicle, creating this more of a masculine effect, if you will. Now you have the low profile roof rails in black. Black is also the color of the surrounding of the top of the windows. You have the same color mirrors as the rest of the vehicle with the side view camera right here, and that creates this pretty cool feature on the interior of this vehicle. I'll show you that. You also have the smart entry system. You have sensor right here. You have sensors on the inside, so you don't have to push on the buttons on the remote. As long as it's on the outside of the vehicle, you can lock and unlock it. And this I like. This is the trim piece that continues all the way to the back of this vehicle, creating this spoiler in the back. Very unique. And the back, of course, is completely different. You have this blade light that goes right here. This, of course, lights up, it glows, it matches what we've seen in the front. Big Hyundai logo, Kona spelled out, 1.6T on one side, and then of course you have the lights, so the tail lights, the blinkers, and the reverse lights. Looking like the reverse lights are the only ones that are incandescent. Everything else, it's LED. Now the bottom portion of that bumper is polished aluminum kind of looking trim, and for the first time with Kona we actually have the power lift gate, which we can activate on the remote. So let's see what we have there. I can already see that we have quite a bit of space here, and that's about 25 cubic feet of space behind the seats. Now, of course, you have this dual floor here. This particular one doesn't have the spare tire, but it looks like there's enough space where you can actually fit one in if you opted one. So tire mobility kit, that's what comes with this vehicle. Looks like 60-40 split. You can remove this cargo from here, so unhook it right on top. You can remove this. You can actually move it down right here if you wanted to. So without taking it out and not knowing what to do with it, you can actually lay it down. But you know, that's just if you have the seats up. If you wanted to fold the seats down, you can actually take it all out. And now we're going to be able to actually drop the seats so you can see how much more room you have. Now that's actually leaning on the front seats. Let me actually do the work and show you how it looks. And this is with the seats folded down, and I gotta tell you, it's actually impressive. It's about 60 cubic feet of cargo space. For the size of this vehicle, it's probably class leading. I tell you, this is what we have for cargo. Let's see what we have for passengers. I'm gonna start right here with this rear door panel over here, and as you can see, this is hard plastic. This is nicely padded and soft, as well as this portion right here. So here's your armrest with the window control, door handle, and a storage for your bottle or a drink. Now let's move inside and let's see what we have here. Now this is a man-made all leather, so this is not a real thing, but it looks and feels very durable. I like the design of it. You also have this pass-through, or you have this armrest with cup holders that's built inside, and the passenger side you also have the cargo net. Now in the middle you have the vents, which is a huge plus in my book, especially for the subcompact SUVs. And then you also have two USB Type-C ports and a little cubby right here to put your stuff here. And you know, you do have some significant bump right on the floor here, so that's gonna probably not make it easier for the third passenger. But let me jump inside, see how much room we have. Now, as a point of reference, I am 6 feet tall, and this front seat I adjusted to my regular driving position and see if I can fit behind it. So as you can see, I have quite a bit of room, and I'm close, but I'm not touching my knees to the back of the seats. And here's the headroom that I have, so that's probably about, what, 2 inches or so. So no shortage of room here, enough shoulder room. I feel very comfortable, surprisingly, for this small of an SUV. Now, of course, before we get inside, let's see what we have as far as the sound of the closing door. Boom. Now that's one solid thud right here. And let's take a look at the front door panel. So we have the usual suspects right here: window, mirror, lock controls, door handle, more storage down below here. You have the Bose stereo on this limited trim. And again, this is the same kind of setup. This is hard plastic, this is soft material, this is soft material as well. Now on the driver's side, you have the power adjustment. Passengers, actually manual adjustment right here. Again, nicely contoured seats with this new design right here. You see that at one other place. I'm going to show you that too in just a moment. And this is a whole brand new interior. So let's take a look. And this is the brand new interior in this 2024 Hyundai Kona, and I gotta tell you, I am thoroughly impressed with what I see right now. Well, first of all, the roominess. I'm 6 feet tall. This is the seat all the way back, and I'm barely touching the pedals right here, so it's got plenty of room for even the tall people, much taller than me. And what do we have here? Before we get to the screens, let's check this out. I like this texture dashboard right here. It's hard plastic, but it's nice. Also have these vans nicely incorporated into the overall design. You have this little shelf with the lid, so you can put stuff inside of here and they won't be moving around. And of course, you have two 12.3-inch screens. So take that, Buick Envista. Right now, the brand new steering wheel, and this is the new design. You no longer have a Hyundai logo right here. You have this 4-dot design. Now the steering wheel overall, it's the right size, it's the right thickness, it's the right sheen, it's non-reflective, and the same thing are not the buttons right here in the back. You have the pedal shifters. Now this is the 8-speed automatic transmission, so this is no CVT, so those are real shifters. And now on right here you have the pages button. That's what's going on in the instrument cluster. You also have the dynamic cruise control, adaptive cruise control. You also have the lane keep assist, different modes. You can set up this button to a certain feature that I'm going to show you how to do that. Also a favorite button, and this is your volume button. This is up and down, and then of course you have the voice control. Now, one huge change about this vehicle is there's no shifter right here. There's no shifters, there's no buttons, anything. So where do you change gears on this vehicle right here? And that is right on the side here. Now, the column base or steering wheel based shifter is nothing new. We've seen the many other ones, but this is completely different. Now, in order to change the gears, right here, maybe you can peek through it. All right, of course, you put your foot on the brake, right? And then you twist this part, okay? So you don't move the whole thing, but you twist it. And see, it goes into drive, it goes to reverse. You know, you can push the button on the side to put it in park, and that's what we're going to do. And then I'll show you how the rear view camera looks. But before that, let's take a look at this first screen right here. Now, this is your instrument cluster, and inside you can change several settings or several views of it. So first of all, on the left hand side, you see there is a speedometer. On the right hand side, there's a tachometer. You also have the range at 66 miles right now, so we have plenty of gas to take it for a test drive. On the right hand side, you have the temperature. In the middle, that's where stuff changing. So here's your trip, and then you can go up and down from here as far as the trip. And let's see, right there, since last reset, since last refueling, tire pressure. Now let's go back to the next screen. This is your compass, and hit OK for settings as far as the lane keep assist. You also see that there is a speed limit reader, so this will indicate what speed limit is on the route that you're taking. And this is a pretty cool thing. Now, it also has one of my favorite features that entices people to use turn signals. Now check this out. Look at this turn signal to the right, and it shows you what's going on the right hand side of this vehicle. Left, same thing. So first of all, this is pretty cool. If you're not a turn signal user, which I know there's plenty of you guys that don't like to do that, but that's where you actually engage them. When you go to the right, put the turn signal to the right, same thing to the left. This one actually has got some cool feature to go with that. Now let's take a look at this infotainment system, because this has changed as well. Now it has this brand new design. Now remember, the Hyundai and Kia were kind of very similar with the different icons. This is more Genesis like. So first of all, you have the built-in map with here that you can make bigger and take up the entire screen, which is a huge plus in my book. But then you can also go back to the home screen, hitting that little home button there, or the button that says home over here. And then here's your Sirius XM. By the way, the Bose stereo sounds really good. Fortunately, I can show it to you. Phone projection. Please connect a phone that supports Android Auto or Apple CarPlay using an approved USB cable. So Hyundai still hasn't changed that. You still have to, on the bigger screens at least, you have to use the cable to do that. Now, the same features that you had on the other ones, but just a different interface. So it looks like voice memo. You have the weather, valet mode, Hyundai CarPlay. Additional setup required. Activate now. No, because I'm not subscribed to it. Here's your setup, and there you go. It opens up a bunch of icons right here, which you can select from. Here's the button setup. So the ones on the steering wheel, custom button on navigation, steering wheel, mode button, up and down button, volume, tune knobs. Now, any of those buttons you can assign to certain functions that you have here, which is, you can really customize this vehicle, make it your own, whatever works for you. So this is a very nice and cool setup in here. Let's go back to this setup function right here. So as far as the cluster, right, so we have the cluster theme selection, uses the selected theme linked to drive mode. When we unlink it, let's see what we have. The gauge style. So now we have the classic style, and let's check it out. Looks completely different, more of a traditional style. And then we also have 3 graphic styles in here, and let me actually check them out and see what they are. Style A, B, and C. There you go. So this is more sporty. I'm actually going to leave it linked to the drive mode, as we have a few drive modes, and let's actually see what we have. So we have normal, sport, and these are the drive modes that are available for this model year. Pretty cool, and it changes the cluster design when you change those as well. Back to the main screen. So we have the cluster, blue link, general settings, voice recognition, display, several different adjustments that can be made. You can also go back to the previous screen, and let's go back, see what we have. Vehicle diagnostics, maintenance, HD radio data, notifications, online manual, which basically is going to display the QR code. You can read that, and it's going to take you to the online manual here. So this is it. This is what you have in here. I think it's pretty nice, clean. I like this design better with those bigger icons, more visible. And let's check out one more thing right here. Let's check out the rear view camera. So let's put it in reverse, and this is what we have. Now this one has the 360 camera, so you can see the top-down view on the right-hand side, and the regular view, of course, right here. You can also do this 360 kind of spin-off of this vehicle. Right there, we can move around, see where we're standing, and then you have different options as far as the settings here. So you have the parking distance warning, top view parking lines, rear view parking lines, which are really useful. Display settings over here, you can actually adjust them, brightness, daylight, nighttime, etc. Let's go back here, and this is it. This is your rear view camera. Hit the park button so we don't roll. And now underneath here you have a bunch of shortcut buttons. So first of all, this is where you stop the engine. I like the sheen on it. This is more of this brushed aluminum kind of theme in here. They're illuminated, you can see that. And you have the home, map, search, media, hazard light, seek, track, the customizable button, setup button, so you can take you through any of the icons basically where you want it. So here's your dual zone climate control. You have the auto off feature. This is air recirculating button. On the other side you have the front window defogger, rear window defroster, all that stuff. And you also have the USB ports for your phones. Now this one says that it's for charging and data. This is for charging right here. Down below you also have the wireless charger for your phone, and this is where you select your drive modes. You also have heated, ventilated seats, heated steering wheel, auto hold. You have the park assist right here, and again, heated and ventilated seats for the passenger side. This is amazing. You get all of that in the subcompact SUV. Truly a luxury move. Now this is pretty cool, not new for Hyundai, but this is pretty cool. If you wanted more space in here, all you have to do is slide those cup holders in, and that creates this much more of a space. Push the button, it's going to reveal the cup holders again. Now a bit more storage, tiny little bit of storage right here. That's what we have. This is it. Overall, super impressive the way it looks. We're not done yet. Right up on top you have the mirror with the home link system, LED lights on both sides right here, and in the back this is how you control it. You have your SOS button, and you have your control for the power moonroof. Now this is the standard size moonroof, not a panoramic moonroof, but it's a one-touch operation. Opens it up, You have the nice windscreen right here. Let some air and light inside of this very nice and very luxurious cabin. Now it looks awesome. Let's see how it drives. I am thoroughly impressed with this vehicle, the way it looks, the way it feels, the way it drives, the roominess that it has. Now, I'm going to show you how it drives. Before we do that, let's talk a little bit about pricing. Unfortunately, Hyundai has not updated their website as far as the pricing for all of the models, so I can only tell you of how much this cost. And this one's about $32,800. This is the top of the line with the front-wheel drive with no extra added options. So everything that I showed you in this video is a standard equipment on this model, and that's a lot. $32,800 is not a lot of money for everything that you're getting in here, especially when you compare it to the competition. Now, of course, let's see how it drives. The shifter takes a little bit of getting used to. I have this really tight parking lot, so this would be a good idea to check out this turning on this Kona right here. Now, I know I'm not going to make it into one, but then back it up a little bit. Nice rear view camera. And then I think we can make it this time. Turn it all the way. There you go. No issues. In this fairly narrow parking lot right here, so it does turn really nicely. We're going to see if I can do maybe a 360 for you a little bit later, but it looks like this lot is getting filled up with some of the vehicles here, especially with all the construction that's going on in Gettle Hyundai. So I'm pretty sure they want to release some of that room. So definitely give them a call if you're in the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle. Check out what those guys have to offer and maybe make a deal with them. Overall, my first impression was really positive when driving this vehicle. You have this huge windshield, you know, gives you a lot of viewpoint right here. You have the decent size mirrors on the side and the back, just like with any SUV. That could be improved a little bit, and maybe that you know, digital rear view mirror might be a solution for it. I don't even know if it's available, because there's really not much information on 2024 Kona that you can get on Hyundai's website. But overall, it's very quiet, right? The engine, you can barely hear anything coming into the cabin, so it's got great sound insulation. And I think this is a right choice for the tires. Those Kumos are really quiet. Now, we're going to find out, because I'm going to take you on the same road where I test a lot of my Hyundai vehicles, and this is a very loud, as far as the tire noise, road. So we're going to see if this one is better than others or not. Well, let's do some half throttle merging in traffic type of acceleration here. Wow, you step on it and it goes. Definitely hear the engine then, and a little bit of the road noise. Well, let's see what happens when I step down on it. Yep, it goes, it moves, and this is the part of the road that's really noisy. Yeah, I can hear some of the road noise, but not as bad as I've seen of some of the Elantras that I've tested here before. So definitely more sound insulation on this vehicle than some of the other ones. Definitely a quieter ride. I like it. It feels good. It feels very smooth. There's no jerkiness. The transmission finds the gears where it should. So no complaints here. Definitely one of my favorite subcompact SUVs thus far, and I've pretty much tested them all. Now, I haven't tested the CX-30 with a turbo engine, and I heard that this is a bomb as far as the acceleration and driving dynamics, but this with 190 horsepower, it just got enough get up and go for the regular city driving. It's more than a lot of other SUVs. We've seen the Buick Envista and the Encore, you know, at about 137, 155. Honda HR-V, Toyota Corolla Cross, that's all as far as the horsepower is less than this. The Subaru Crosstrek, you know, also less than this with CVT transmission. This one's actually going to make it a little bit more fun to drive, in my opinion. And now we're going to turn it around and check out that turning radius right here, as well as going to stop and do some acceleration in here. So now we're stopped. Let's go. There's the power kicks in right about 2,500 RPMs, and it stays there, and we are at 60. So definitely a nice acceleration. I really don't know what the number is, but it feels very peppy. It feels quick for the vehicle, for the class. So a positive impression here as well. Well, I like what Hyundai is doing with their vehicles. They're definitely not afraid of changes, of experimenting with the new and kind of unusual design. We're going to see more vehicles coming out this year. The new Santa Fe, that's going to make its landing at the dealership soon, as well as the new Sonata. So I'm curious about those, but let's stay focused on this. I actually like the lines of it. They kind of smoothed it out, and at first I go like, well, I really like the current generation Kona. This one kind of looks a little bit weird, and it took me a little bit to get used to the lines, but I'm actually digging those as well. So very nice design. The roominess is the best in its class. It's got the nice pickup. It's got tons of amenities which you will not find at any of the other vehicles in this class. And if I'm wrong, put it in the comment section below and see what you can get with all of this at $32,000. I'm waiting. Well, guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope this was helpful, and I hope you learned one thing, and if you did, then I've done my job. So do me a favor, go to the bottom of the screen, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It means the world to me, as well as if you hit that like and the bell notification bell, and I'll see you in my next video. Cheers.